it's the ultimate live service combination because Square Enix has been pushing for live service, Sony is pushing for live service, so it will be all live service.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to WCCF Tech Podcast. That time again. Same crew. It's always the same crew. Francesco and Alessio.
No.
Yay!
So we'll jump right into it today. It's the same stuff, same news. We're always talking about acquisitions and subscriptions. So
People spending money.
yeah, it's all about money. It's all about money. So let's talk. I'll start off with the first thing, which is Sony. Essentially, they've just well, they've said they are open to more acquisitions, which is unsurprising. I'm still saying that it will be the same ones. It will be they're gonna have to buy Square Enix.
Mm.
I've been saying it for long enough. If they're going to buy a big company, it's going to be Square Enix. They are the most. They're just the most likely team. Final Fantasy is very much interlinked with Sony. It's just how it's been for a long time. Losing Final Fantasy as a
They do
exclusive
make
was a loss.
they
Sorry?
do make they do make quite a bit of like smaller Nintendo games, like Triangle Strategy
Yeah.
or Octopath Traveler.
And there's nothing to stop them still doing things like that or bringing them over to consoles. I mean, Octopath Traveler came to the PC, so
Yeah.
I mean, I've always said it's not good. It's not going to be Sega because of the how much Sega are involved in the PC market. I just can't see Sony doing that. Um, Capcom maybe, but and it's not going to be Konami because Konami's got too much invested in gambling.
Yeah, Konami has too many things outside gaming. They will have to split the gaming side with everything else, but I don't think if that is even possible. I was thinking about Capcom though. They're being very silent for the past, even last year. They haven't announced anything big outside Street Fighter 6 that we knew was coming anyway. And they have that Pragmata game that is coming next year. I think they delayed it, but we haven't heard anything big from them.
And
It's weird, all this silence.
yeah,
It's
sometimes the
kind of
silence is
weird.
weird, but I also find Square Enix's method currently of throwing everything they've got out there, possibly just to make them look more valuable,
Yeah.
which is not
Uh,
working because their games are shit.
Well, not
no,
not every game is
not
shit.
always. Let's
Not
not
every game.
Yeah,
exaggerate.
not every game, just the recent ones.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
yeah.
it's a very uneven output. Let's say the problem is that when they get a good game, they
Uneven.
get shit on
Practically a
lately.
tectonic plate. It's that shaky.
Yeah, with Stranger of Paradise, for example, a lot of people it isn't selling that well, at least in Japan. I don't know outside Japan, but people are continuing to shit on it. But it's a good game, actually. People are just are burned. They just got burned off with Babylon's Fall, I guess.
It's one of those games that's so bad it's actually good.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it actually plays great, and even the story is not that bad. It's a little stupid too, but it's fun. That's what should matter.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. No, I just wanted to add that in addition to the confirmation from Jim Ryan that more acquisitions are coming this week, we also had a couple of big name, leakers, journalists. That is to say, Greg Miller from Kinda Funny and also Jeff Grubb. They both said Sony is cooking up something big. So that's why we are, it does seem like Sony will scoop up one of these major publishers, and likely a Japanese one. And
Yeah.
like you said, Konami is also valued at much more than the others. Actually, it's over 8
That's
billion.
because of how much they're invested in different areas, though. I mean, in theory, if Konami were willing to sell off their gaming arm, but again, they're not going to do that because they utilize Castlevania, um, Silent Hill. They utilize all those IPs with their gambling arm as well.
Yeah, the pachinko
I
machines.
mean, Sony could technically license these IPs and let the Konami still use them in their
Oh yeah,
slot
they could.
machines. Yeah,
I just
so they could.
don't see that happening. I just don't see it happening.
I mean, from a gamer's point of view, the best outcome would, I think, would be Konami for sure, because they are not doing anything. So any acquisition would be an improvement. But yeah, realistically, it's probably Square Enix, and but it will be interesting to see whether there will be a split.
You do
Because
realize if it is Square Enix, I'm going to be so very much saying I told you also when I've been predicting this pretty much ever since the Bethesda acquisition was announced.
Yeah. Well, this one was an easy one though.
That's
It was easy to say.
yeah. I've
It
been
was
predicting
easy.
this before Activision. I've been predicting it since Bethesda.
What if they buy Sega instead
Well, if they
and
do that,
surprise
then I will
everyone?
have to admit that I was wrong. For the first time in my life, I was wrong.
Yeah, yeah. It would be.
I mean, to be fair, the world is ending, so me being wrong is a harbinger of doom. So that makes sense.
It would be kind of poetic because former rivals now become one.
yeah, but it's interesting. With Capcom, I don't think that will be the case because they are doing quite well. And also they're doing well also with other platforms, not just. They haven't made an exclusive game in quite a while, I think, right? I mean, except for maybe just the Monster Hunter for
Hunter Rise,
Nintendo.
yeah, but just console exclusive because
Yeah,
it's
they
out of
haven't
PC.
made
So.
a PlayStation exclusive in a long time, I think.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't think that's happening. And I was saying that it will be interesting to see whether Square Enix gets split between the western part and the eastern part if it gets acquired. Like, for example, there are rumors that Microsoft might want to get Crystal Dynamics. They are partnering on Perfect Dark, for example. So maybe they could be seen as a test run to acquire the studio, and maybe even Eidos Montreal. I don't know.
I just don't. I don't know. I just don't see. I don't see that happening. Microsoft will partner with studios. It's like they part. I think they partner with studios to give their in-house studios more experience. Like they partner with with Relic for Age of Empires. So then World's End, I can't remember, World something or other, their in-house team, which worked with Relic on that title, they gained the experience. So then from now on, that's going to be essentially be the strategy publisher from developer for Microsoft, and I imagine they're going to work with Crystal Dynamics and essentially just leech off them for one title so they can get the experience. Though at the moment, I don't know if leeching off Crystal Dynamics is the best option because, again, their
And you
output
the
hasn't been the
Avengers.
top.
Well, the Avengers could be more
Yeah,
because
to
of
be fair,
Square
it's probably
Enix
more of
than
a
the
Square
Avengers.
Enix issue than it
Yeah.
was a Crystal Dynamics issue. Yeah.
Well, I mean, compared to Babylon's Fall, Avengers is much better.
It's a masterpiece. Yeah.
So,
It's not exactly a high. Compared to
still,
Babylon's Fall, my bag of Monster Munch is a masterpiece.
it's a consolation prize.
Yeah.
You're not the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. I'm still saying it, same as I've said now for when did they acquire Bethesda? I'm still saying it's going to be Square Enix for Sony. There's too many IPs to not pounce on them while they've got the money to just pay cash for it. It's like you've got Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Tomb Raider. I mean, they could bring back Football Manager if they decide to go for.
Sex. That's
And also, they are already
In fact,
making.
They've got the Ultimate game. I'm sure it's an IDOS IP. I'm probably wrong, but was it Square? Was it IDOS that had Gex Enter the Gecko? I loved
I
Gex.
think so. Yeah. I think so.
Bring back Gex.
They have Legacy of Kain. They have to bring that back.
Bring back Gex. They were making a Legacy of Kain game, and then it got
Yeah, they just. Although I don't know if it would be a good game without Amy Henning involved.
In fact, I've just had a quick look, and it was the original developer of Gex was Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah.
And it's published on GOG by Square Enix. So yes, I know what I'm talking about.
Crystal Dynamics Redeem by Chris.
Yeah.
No,
You can't
because they
forget
haven't
that they
developed
have
another Gex. They're only redeemed
can-
if they develop another Gex.
What if they get microtransactions, live service, Gex?
Don't swear at me. That's not very nice.
You know they'll do that.
Don't do that to me.
I mean, just think about if Square Enix does end up in Sony's pocket. It's the ultimate live service combination because Square Enix has been pushing for live service. Sony is pushing for live service. So it will be all as live service.
A new racing game from Square Enix with role-playing games mechanics and microtransactions. You know they want. You know they're going to do that. You just
let's
said that Square Enix
move on.
puts out a
Let's
lot of
move
crap,
on.
right?
Let's move on. Who else has acquired somebody? Go on, Alessio.
Well, nobody yet, but there are strong rumors that Quantic Dream might be fully purchased by NetEase. They already got a huge investment a couple of years ago, but now it seems like they might get bought, entirely, and that will be part of their effort to get more funding for Star Wars Eclipse, which reportedly is still very early in development, so they probably need more funding. It would be interesting to see. I mean, NetEase Games has made a lot of investments lately in Western companies. Not as much as Tencent, of course, but it's still a sizable amount. They also invested in Bungie a while ago, so they are certainly, once they were just a mobile company, but now they are going into the AAA console PC business. And I know that a lot of people aren't that keen on Quantic Dreams titles, but personally, I do enjoy them. So I'm looking forward to Star Wars Eclipse whenever it comes out.
Never.
It even exists at this point. I don't think they have. I don't think they have anything else other than the name. If it's coming really in 2028, it doesn't really exist at this point.
Yeah,
2028 seems a bit excessive to me. We'll see. But anyway, Chris, you got the roadmap mistaken from the podcast. We were supposed to talk first about Quantic Dream, And then
No,
about
no,
Sony.
I didn't get it mistaken. That was just the order. I just decided on a whim that we were going to talk about the big company first.
Okay, no, just saying that because the next topic is again about Sony.
But what if we
Because
did the Microsoft next instead? No, we can talk about Sony. Go on.
yeah, it's finally official. Sony is doing something like Game Pass. It's a new version of PS Plus, and there are 3 tiers. So it's the basic one is still exactly the same, basically that you have right now. Then there is another one that adds quite a bit of games, although it does not include day one releases. And then that's the final one, which basically includes PlayStation Now as well. So it's quite a bit more expensive, especially if you get it monthly. But Sony is basically pushing customers to get the annual option since it's quite a bit less expensive. So you can save quite a bit with that option at least. And it's not quite the same as Game Pass, of course, without demo releases. But Ryan said that the I quote terrific value of PS Plus Premium wouldn't be possible if they released games day and date on the subscription service. So we don't have a full list yet of games, but from what they've said, it seems like the most recent game that will be featured there is Returnal. But Returnal is still a year old now, so it's a different strategy from Microsoft's. But at the same time, Sony said it might change, so they are not necessarily stuck in this strategy if they find out it doesn't work.
So, what was the reason that they're not doing new games?
They want to sell them.
Yeah, I know that's the real reason. What was the reason they gave?
The reason they gave is that basically it would hurt first-party games development. So basically, they said that they have a virtuous cycle. So the level of investment that they make in these first-party games would not be possible if they made them available on day one. So basically, it would have a knock-on effect on the quality of the games themselves. And since they pride themselves so much of their quality, and rightfully so, to be fair, well, they're not doing it for now. I don't know. It's a debatable position. Of course, on one end, you do lose some upfront money of people who are not buying the game at full price anymore. But at the same time, as Microsoft points out all the time, you're also opening those games to a bigger audience. So in the long run, I don't know if you're truly losing money.
I was just thinking how quickly these games go on sale. By the way,
Yeah.
well, I don't really know. I remember when I don't know about PlayStation 5 games because I followed them, but I remember when God of War released the first one, the PlayStation 4 one. I think it got on sale like 2-3 months after release.
Yeah.
So I think they just rely on those day one sales and pre-orders, and then they probably would lose that with the with the day one release on the new PlayStation Plus. But I really the thing about quality is just an excuse, because this would mean that all of Microsoft games that come out on Game Pass suck, and that is not the case.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
mean,
think that's a bit of a like you say, it's a bit of a PR thing. Our
Yeah.
games are that good of a quality that we can't just game past them, sort of thing. But it's the only way to know which is better value for money for the company is by trying both. That's the only way to honestly know.
And the PlayStation 3 games only via streaming. That was expected, because Style was a mistake for the PlayStation 3. But it's still disappointing that they're not really willing to invest money for emulating.
Yeah.
It's not. I tried PlayStation Now a couple of times, and it's not really a good experience. It depends on a lot of
Yeah, it
things.
does depend. Same as any streaming, same as the discussion we had about the Stadia and everything in the past. It all depends on the network infrastructure. So
Yeah.
it's never going to be. Well, it's not
yeah,
say never, but it's not great. But yeah. Um.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more
no.
curious what PS2 games are going to be on there, because I may actually do the PS Plus Premium if they've got certain PS2 games out. Because I mean, I want to play Suikoden again.
Yeah, Konami is not going to let them do that. I don't see. I don't see. They haven't even said if third parties are involved in this.
Well, I
Well,
don't
they
think Sony's got 340 first party games.
Yeah, that's true, but they have a lot of stuff across the three consoles. Actually, four consoles, because
Yeah.
PlayStation 3 is in there. Yeah, but PlayStation 3, we know that with PlayStation Now, we already have a good idea of what is coming and what is
uh,
not at
they
launch.
they did mention one third-party game at least that will be available not as part of streaming, just as part of the catalog, and that's Mortal Kombat 11. But it's
Mm,
not exactly a new game either. So
yeah.
uh, yeah, it does seem like Sony is just not willing to invest as much into this service yet as Microsoft. For example, Microsoft is paying, third-party companies a lot to put their games on the
Yeah.
service. Often they do it on day one as well. And also, let's face it, Microsoft has a bigger pocket, so they can hit a loss more easily than Sony. And
Yeah. It's all about
that's all.
grabbing
Yeah.
market share.
So, we'll see. I do wonder if this will influence their strategy in a way. For PC, I mean, uh, because for example, uh, PC Gamer ran an article a couple of days ago, and that basically all of this is it's generally an improvement for PlayStation gamers because they get more value,
Yeah.
arguably. But for PC gamers who can still subscribe to PlayStation Now, it's actually not good at all because they are going to have to pay a lot more if they want to use PS Now, because PS Now is now only available as part of the PS Plus Premium, which is basically twice as much as PS Now.
Yeah. Yeah. So if yeah, surely they're going to think of that and just think someone who's only on the PC might want to just have PS Now.
Yeah, it seems like they didn't think of that, or they just, maybe the PC audience that subscribes and uses PS Now is just too small. That they don't care. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just reading on the Sony website, PlayStation Sony website here now. It does say PlayStation Now customers will migrate over to PlayStation Plus Premium with no increase to their current subscription fees at launch.
Yeah, at
Oh,
launch. At
Yeah,
launch.
at launch, but surely they're going to consider, if people are only on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels like this announcement was a little rushed because you even if you're asking people for this much money, you could at least say some of the games that are coming at launch. I
Yeah.
know this PC thing. It seems like they just had to get this announcement out, and they haven't worked everything out like
Yeah.
this. Like you said, how they're going to do with PC once PlayStation Now is not a thing anymore.
yeah, yeah. For PlayStation gamers, it's actually advisable to get PlayStation Now subscription. So they basically pay $60, but it will be converted to a full PS Plus premium.
For
That's
however
for
long the first part is, supposedly.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know then. It's weird. I don't. Same as everything Sony does in when they're moving into new things. I don't think they've thought it through.
Yeah, and also I mean, this is all if you are willing to commit annually, because if you're not, the monthly cost is quite high. It's like 13.5 pounds monthly. I don't know how much Netflix is over there, but
Yeah, it's
I
just
think
gone up. Set of bastards. They've just increased the price of Netflix. Oh dear, so many subscriptions. I need to cancel about 500,000 of them. Too
and
many.
yeah, and also Jim Ryan from Sony said something interesting, which is that they don't believe subscription will dominate gaming like it does video and music.
Yeah, we'll see. It's easier said than done. Nobody can predict the way things are going.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
well, as
don't
long
think.
as they don't offer day one releases, it's not going to be that because it's only Microsoft that does that
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much. But if they start doing that as well, I don't know, maybe it can it can start dominating because there is no reason then. Many people would have no reason to buy a game on day one or buy it separately from the subscription if the price is. If the price is right. And let's not forget how much PlayStation 5 games now cost compared to the PlayStation 4. And it's at least over here it's 10 euros more. I don't know, but I think they
£10
increased
more,
it
yeah, yeah.
in the US and the UK too. So that would make it if they were to get day one releases eventually. I think that would be very. It would make sense for a lot of people to just subscribe and then
I mean,
let's keep it there.
I think he does have a point though when he mentions that a lot of a lot of people play online games and free-to-play games that they have battle passes, subscriptions. I mean, just think about MMOs, Final Fantasy 14. So all of those people that already have subscription services for other games, for individual games that they spend a lot of time on, it may not make sense to them to also get PS Plus subscription, the premium one, or just even Game Pass. I mean, it is a fair point because live service games are so big right now, despite what Chris would like. We'll
It's,
see.
it's too. I'm playing. I think I'd just rather play old indie games now. Old and indie games. Back when gaming was fun, I'm gonna go back to playing good games like Tetris. But then again, Ubisoft. I'm
Classic.
thinking it was Ubisoft that managed to try and over monetize Tetris at one point. I think.
Yeah, or was it Electronic Arts? I don't
It
remember,
might have
but
been EA. I don't know. One of the two.
I think it was Electronic. Yeah, one of the two, or maybe both, because
I wouldn't be
you know a lot
surprised.
of developers release Tetris games, and please
You're
buy the L
depressing me.
block for only $4.99.
Just getting depressed now again.
Don't be depressed.
You can still
Anyway,
not play anything.
anyway,
Vote with your wallet.
Yeah.
right.
Let's move on to the last major topic. Microsoft and their subscriptions. Oh no, subscription services.
Something new.
Ah. Ah.
Yeah, well, I mean, Microsoft isn't going to sit on their laurels, so they are basically cooking up a family plan.
Yeah.
So maybe it will. Rumor says that it should allow like 5 users to be in the same plan. So basically, like Disney Plus or Netflix. So it will be interesting to see. I mean, a lot of people could be interested in that, but it will be interesting to see how easy it is to share. Uh, because certainly that's not going to be very profitable for Microsoft if 5 different players can just subscribe once and get all of the games. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It would certainly increase their overall subscriptions. Not sure about the revenue though.
But that's it. I don't know. Say it'll increase. But we don't know. It's
We
one of
don't know
those
how much
things.
it would cost
Yeah.
anyway. If it costs a lot more, then
Yeah,
probably.
to be fair, at GTC, Microsoft gave a talk on Game Pass, and basically they said that people subscribe, but then they also buy more. When they get into some game, they buy, I don't know, DLCs and stuff. So it could be a gateway to get more people into Game Pass and spending more for other games, something of the sort. Basically.
Yeah. Possibly. Gateway drug. Bad for you. You start with Game Pass, you end up on heroin.
It's a gateway to drugs. Don't do drugs, kids, and don't do Game Pass.
And don't do live services.
Don't
They're
do
really
that.
bad for you. Your
Don't play
teeth
free to play
fall out,
games.
your penis falls off. It's just bad for your live service.
You age more quickly. You end up becoming old Snake from Metal
You,
Gear Solid 5. Four,
you
sorry.
you become a Manchester United fan.
That is bad for you at the moment. Absolutely bloody atrocious. And Leicester deserved to win yesterday. God knows why their goal were disallowed. I mean, I understand why it was, but I disagreed with that. I would have had Leicester's goal allowed and Man United would have lost 2-0. And I'm a Man U 2-1. And I'm a Man U fan. That goes to show you. It's all falling apart. My world's falling apart.
You're going to play live services games,
Don't. If I
and
do
you will
that,
like, and you
I'm
will
just
like
gonna
them.
just end up quitting. Just end up just locking myself in a cupboard and never leaving.
Not only you're going to like them, you're going to make a public apology, saying
Hmm.
I was wrong. Live service games are the future.
Sorry, Mr. Kotick, I was wrong.
More chance of me going shaking Vladimir Putin's hand.
Kotick did no wrong. Well, it's impossible because he's done too much to.
Anyway, it looks like the E3 Francesco and I attended will be the last one forever because it's not coming this year as well, and not even digitally.
Right.
So basically, it's been 2 or 3 years that they are saying we'll come again next year, and then they never do. Uh,
I don't think they're coming back. People
uh,
have gotten used to, this. They're no longer all the announcements. They no longer come on a a single week, and now they're spread all over the summer. I think people are gotten used to that now, and it's kind of lost its magic. That week every year when things were happening. Now things are happening all year long, pretty much.
I think that's it. It's due to it not having been a public thing. I mean, just reading now, it does say that the ESA has said that E3 will return in 2023 with a reinvigorated showcase, but I don't know. E3 to me just is a sign of the olden times. It's all about back when there wasn't the internet or there was internet, but everybody wasn't hyper connected all the time. E3 was when all the media just went and you only got a limited number of public comparatively. Your better shows are your public showcases. Again, I'll always say Gamescom.
but there was an energy to it. Just being
Yes,
there,
a
it was.
sickness energy. Well, like all conferences, even Gamescom, which I like, you just get sick because of all the germs and the unwashed masses.
Oh God.
I kind of remember that year that we went together. Uh, some people need to wash. People, please wash. Don't do drugs and wash when you're going
Well, fair
going
enough. Do
outside.
drugs if you want to do drugs.
Well,
Just
yeah, do
wash.
drugs, but just wash. Yeah,
Just wash and have some
yeah,
deodorant.
yeah. The only day that we were fine, it was the first day when it was open to the public. At least we can say that journalists wash. At least most of them.
Nah.
Most, it wasn't as bad as the other
Yeah, it wasn't as
days.
bad because it wasn't. It's not as crowded on the journo days.
Yeah, maybe that could be
That's
that.
why. That's why I yeah. When I go to Gamescom, I'll spend most of my time in the journo, in the industry sections,
Mm.
and I'll venture into the public section on rare occasions, just to
Wow.
I still essentially I still remember the first time I went to the public section of Gamescom. The first year I was there when I had a bit of a gap, and I was going down like the escalator on one of the things, and like the fear on my eyes as soon as I saw the people. I'm like this because you've got the roof in the way, so I'm there like this.
Yeah, and also the extremely long queues, like
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours to play a 10-minute demo. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. No, not worth it. So not worth it.
Still,
With the smell. Yeah, with the smell.
but we had the power, Remember when we just waved our
large
pass?
penises.
Yeah. Well, at least I was able to try Final Fantasy 15, waiting only an hour instead of the 5 hours that normal people had to wait.
Uh,
Yeah,
I don't
I
wait an hour
remember
for fucking anything.
that was the longest. I think that was the longest line in the show that year. It was 2016, I think.
I'm an
It's been a
important
long
person. I don't wait for things. I am.
time.
Well, at least I'm important in my mind, anyway.
Yeah.
that's the important thing.
As long as you're convinced about that. Please, I'm very important. I need to do that. I can't wait. I'm important.
I
Yeah.
can't wait. I'm important. I have beer to drink. Oh
You
dear.
you could drink while waiting. That's a good way to pass time.
Chris wants to go again this year, right? You want to go?
When is it? I do. I wouldn't mind going. I've got to admit. Gamescom 2022.
Late August, I think.
24th to the 28th of August. Um, August? What's on in August? What have I got going in August? I could go for a few days.
Feel the
It's not up
smell.
to me though. It's not
The
up to me.
smell of the game.
It's not. I don't care about the games. I go for the
The
bratwurst
smell.
and something. I go for the bratwurst and beer. I don't give a crap about the games.
Yeah, but you want to feel the smell.
It
The
has been a
smell of
while.
cologne.
You also want to feel the COVID.
I've beaten that once already.
Uh,
Well,
I'm immune. Immune.
and if you lose the sense of smell, then games gonna become even more enjoyable. That's
That's a
yeah,
fair
that's
point.
it's the
That's a
classic silver
fair
lining.
point. Yeah.
You
I
know, you
like
could
it.
stand there all day long. I don't feel anything. I
Yeah,
can't
well.
smell anything.
I think we've rambled. Go on. What are you playing, Francesco?
Well, I played. We can talk about that because we couldn't last week.
I played, but we
I
can't talk
played
about
we
it.
I played Weird West. That's an immersive sim by one of the creators of Dishonored, and it's a pretty fun game. Although it's a little flawed here and there. It's basically a fantasy a retelling of the Old West with zombies, spirits, ghosts, magic, that kind of stuff. And the thing that makes it so fun is outside of the story that it's actually quite good. Is how the world reacts to what you're doing, and the characters react to what you're doing, your reputation, but I think it would have been better without the role playing mechanics because they're not really the best. Combat is a little unbalanced because there is one ability that sends everything to slow motion that it's way overpowered compared to everything else that you have to learn. You have to use items to learn, and it's kind of unbalanced, and it kind of damages the thing because there are a lot of combat options like you can use paddles, for example, to improve electric attacks. You can set things on fire. You can use oil to spread the fire, but you have no reason to do so if you can just go into slow motion and
kill
and kill
everyone.
everything on sight. Yeah,
Fair
I
enough.
think they're going to support the game. They want to add other play modes, I think. So that this may be changed with a little of some tweaks here and
Yeah.
there, but it's generally a good game, and it's also on Game Pass, so people can try it out, and even if it isn't perfect, it can be a good time.
Uh, yeah, and it's also a lot of it is physics based, right? So you
Yeah,
can.
yeah, you can do all these things. The problem is that right now you don't have much reason to do so because this ability really dominates, and it's easy to use. You just restore your action point or whatever they're called. I don't remember. And yeah, it just trivializes everything. I tried playing it without that, and when I realized how more difficult it was, I just said, "Fuck that! Let's go into slow motion and do everything this way." It seems like it's the optimal way to play. They probably didn't think. I think they focus more on the immersive sim features rather than the role-playing
Yeah.
game mechanics. They're way more basic.
Well, yeah, I guess that's more of their background since they were at Arcane. They do
And
most.
as a first effort, it's okay. It's not perfect, but they
Nothing's
can build
perfect.
upon this. Yeah, nothing is perfect. Yeah, but they can build upon this and probably come out with an even better game.
Yeah. No, I do like those types of games, so I'm eager to try it. But as you said, it's probably best to wait until they they patch
Yeah,
some
yeah,
things.
and yeah, yeah, there are some technical issues. The game crashed a lot of times when I was playing it. And then there is another issue that if you get killed, the game autosaves at points, and you can make a quick save anytime you want. The problem is if you get killed and you load this quick save that you made, the enemy position is reset to their position when you entered the location. So you may end up being in the middle of an enemy formation and no way to make it out. So you would have to load an earlier save. So there are these small issues that they have to be fixed because they can get in the way. If you have multiple saves, so you're never getting stuck completely.
Saves coming.
Yeah, but yeah, because I tried that a couple times and I had this enemy wasn't here when I saved, but I respawned right close to an enemy and
Yeah. Oh, God.
it's small stuff. It's not really that bad, but it adds up. The crashes are bad because it crashes for no reason. Like when nothing is happening, it just crashes. And
Yes.
I don't know if they updated since release because I didn't play it. I just completed it and before release anyway, and I don't know if they have fixed that. But these issues were there.
Fair enough. But well, then again, I like the look of it, so yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass too, so if you have that,
Yeah.
you don't even have to spend
Everything's
money
on Game Pass.
Yeah, true.
Even on
Yeah.
Game Pass.
And what are you? Well, what are you playing, Alessio?
But not really anything new, honestly. I did play something for a preview, but I'm not allowed to talk about it yet, so I can't say anything there. Like I said, I'm also waiting to try Weird West once they fixed it. And other than that, just regular Elder Scrolls Online stuff. Just maxed another character, a Templar character, since they have an XP bonus event going on. So I took advantage of that and will likely use this as my main DPS character now. So
Fair enough.
that's it. Chris?
Not a massive amount. I got my Sunday review thing out, which I tried to do. That was the horror indie game, which the reviews just come out. That Expedition Zero, which is, yeah, it does atmosphere well. That's about all it does well. It does atmosphere well, and to be fair, pacing as well. But it's too many. It crashes too much. Too many crashes, and yeah, a few too many bugs. So, yeah, bang average at best. And other than that, no, I've been too busy for games. I've been going to concerts. I've been going to music all the time. I've got another one tonight.
Maybe
And
we
sorry,
should ask Sad. We should ask Sad if they let you review music on WCCF Tech.
I could probably do that. In fact, I know I
That
could do
would be
that.
nice. That would be nice. I would do that too. That
No,
would be nice.
I go to all the gigs.
Yeah, but I think we listen to different things.
Yeah, quite possibly. You listen
I
to
think so.
things that you're listening to things like Justin Bieber and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm listening to proper
Britney
music.
Spears. Yeah.
Oops, I did it again.
What did you do? Oh dear. Yeah, I could do music. I could do TV shows. I could do anything. I can review anything. I'll even
Can you-
review The Perfect Cup of Tea
Can you
because
review
I've made
socks?
it. Sorry,
Can you review socks?
socks. Well, I do wear them. Look, I have a sock on. I'm
Wow.
falling down.
Never saw one before.
I know. I'm very good at socks. I can put them on without struggling. I'm very good. And now I just need to practice that with underwear. Yeah, well, with music and everything. To be fair, I'm playing an older game as well, just in between different things. Just back to Unity of Command 2, which I love. Yeah, it's just a fantastic strategy game. And it's one I can just dip in and dip out when I want to have a quick, 20-minute, half an hour quick session. And then I do have other games that I'm just plodding along with. Plodding along, always plodding. Yeah, nothing amazing.
Yeah,
And sorry?
No, I was saying that it is a bit of a lull between the scheduled releases.
Yeah.
It's between April and May,
I'll
even
find another
June.
indie game to try. I do like to give. I like to give indie games their attempts. They all deserve something. So yeah, I'll figure something out. But other than that, yeah, I think that's everything from me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Right. Yeah, I think that's everything then. So yeah. So after more acquisitions and more subscriptions, of course, we will see you next time where there will probably be more acquisitions and more subscriptions.
Yeah.
More live service.
Oh no. Bye.
Yes, and you will like that.
No, I won't. I'm going to go kill myself now. Have somebody phone the Samaritans. Me, probably. Bye.